Good evening, Savages, and welcome back to another episode of Savagely Paranormal. Tonight, we are talking about what we did this year, what we hope to do next year, well, in the coming year, and what we did and didn't like about all of our fun time investigations.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Say it a little faster for the people in the back.
I think our brains had to catch up to what you said for a minute.
Yeah. And we're back. So, our first case that we did was the Sabrick House.
Yes.
We had a lot of interesting and weird, not a whole lot happened there, but it was weird. Like, the whole vibe there was weird.
There was a lot of randomness. Like, a lot of things happened, but nothing that we could come back and say 100% this is what it is. This is what to do. Because it was a lot of, you see a shadow, you see a mist, you catch a little bit of a shadow on a picture, you get a random EVP, we caught a couple faces in windows, got touched a couple of times.
Yeah.
It was a Saybrook house. This was the one that you guys did 2 or 3 times. I came in the second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the one when we went upstairs and the floor felt like the funhouse floor, and
Yeah, that was probably like the weirdest feeling, but like the whole floor literally felt like it was like rolling. It was just weird.
yeah.
That house, my biggest thing, I think it was more of a manifestation of the homeowners.
Yeah.
They wanted it so badly that it was the energy manifested how they wanted it to.
Yeah.
And like they, like they had some videos because they had a YouTube channel all about their activity and stuff, and like it was a lot of the cat reacting to things and not a whole lot of anything else. And
Yeah, the cat got touched a few times, and you could clearly see in their videos, because it was the home security videos, you can clearly see the cat was going down the hallway. There was nothing or no one around, and the cat totally reacted, and you could kind of see like a shape on the floor,
yeah,
but that didn't fit with any of the things that they said was going on in the house.
right. A lot of the activity was centered more on the kids anyway than like the 2 adult people that lived there, and like.
Yeah.
Even then, when you asked the kids, because I did interview both kids, and
Mhm.
they were like, "Oh," yeah," and then their mom would like cut in and like feed them info. I'm like, no. Like, I want to hear
Their version.
their version of this because we've already heard what you've seen and felt and like what you have said they said. But like, I want to know, like, does it scare them? The kids were like, eh.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, if you really thought it was demonic and it was actually going after the kids as bad as you said it was, why are your kids not terrified?
Right. Now, they
were little, so, but still, like, you would think that if it was really as bad as they claimed.
Or, even if the kids weren't scared, if it was something that was trying to be friends with the kids, if it was a bad entity and was trying to befriend the kids so they wouldn't be scared, then the kids would be more apt to say, yeah, I talk to it, I play with it, but the kids were just like, meh.
This happened once,
Yeah.
and then, meh. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
So I never talked with the kids. I only talked with the 2 homeowners, and from the 2 homeowners' perspectives, each one was different.
Yeah. None of the stories added up, and they were even having experiences in their vehicles as they were driving places, and it seemed to be focused around the one homeowner having the issues.
Yeah.
So I would think it was more
Something
of either a
attached to them.
manifestation or something was attached to that person and causing the emotional outbursts and the whole personality changes.
Which leads back to my manifestation theory.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is possible for somebody to think about, talk about, and, like, really genuinely, think that they have an entity it feeds it power. It
Right.
gives it that energy that it needs, and the more you fear it, and the more like you talk about it and you record it and you try to interact with it, because one of the homeowners did threaten
Yeah.
it. So I mean, it's
But there's also the possibility, which they never explored as far as I know, is the mental illness aspect.
yeah.
So I'm not about to reach out to them and say, "Hey, have you went to see a shrink recently?"
Right.
No. But we did broach that subject with them.
Yeah.
They just did not seem very open to exploring that avenue.
Yeah. And like it was just such a weird experience. Like that was the first time I've ever had a homeowner like actively pursue us like through an investigation, and like
They literally like followed us and chased us through the whole thing.
it was a lot of noise. Like if you know that you are going to have an investigation, you should probably not be packing to move.
Right. And don't like they would sit in one room of the house, which is totally fine. But they would have these conversations, so all of our recordings were like, is that really something or is that them?
Yeah, most
then-
of it was them talking, and then we're like, what was that? Oh, I don't know, because we can't use any of it because
And
they
then
were
they-
like talking so loud.
And they were running their own ghost apps at the same time, so then you hear a creepy voice and you're like, well, was that them in their app or was that really something?
Yeah.
And then every time we turned around, we were tripping over them because they were like right on our feet.
Yeah. It was just an all over weird
But
So-
the land that their home is on, I'm pretty sure there is some haunting going on of the land just because
well,
it's here and it's Native American and there's water running through it.
and it doesn't help that down the street where the orchard is now, it used to be a cemetery that
Yeah.
they claimed they moved
Right.
all of the graves from, but that doesn't necessarily
Right.
mean anything. And you know, like those spirits can
Mhm.
travel, so it's possible that it's just, oh, hey, this person is now throwing up a beacon and they
Right.
want to interact with things.
Right.
So now we're here, and now
And who knows how many hundreds of years back what this land was used for besides that. So you can only go so far back in records. And supposedly, rumor around that neighborhood has it that a child died in an ATV accident, which we were not able to find any information on, but everybody in the neighborhood swears it happened.
we
So,
looked everywhere.
Who's
for
to
that.
say that that isn't who was messing with the cat? Or just a random spirit that just happened to be coming through and said, "Oh, look, a kitty."
Yeah.
And that house, about the only thing I can vaguely say or really say that was interesting for me that happened there was the night we were doing the Estes method, and I felt something touch my beard,
Yeah,
and I thought one of you threw something at me.
yeah. That was wild because that was up in the floor, up in the room with the funhouse floor.
Yeah, and normally you're not the one that gets messed with, so it was kind of interesting to see
Yeah.
with you. Would you like the plague, which is nice, but
No,
Well,
but it's
not
not,
really
always
nice.
nice because then they avoid us too.
depending. It depends.
Depends on how
Sometimes-
close we are to.
That's why I generally tend to go off on my own.
Yeah, it all depends on the location. Like, I don't know. Sometimes they're like, oh no, I'm gonna run. There's another person here. And then other times they're like, ooh,
Schmeat.
yes. But it was interesting that you had most of the physical things happen at that house.
We had my face appear in one of their windows, which was wild in itself.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. But we didn't really
Can't
have
explain that because I was not in the general vicinity at that point in time.
Yeah, wasn't that when Brian was outside taking pictures?
I don't remember if it was that or if it was one Kelsey took from inside looking out.
Oh, yeah. But we had a lot of like weird images like pop up on pictures and stuff, but not like a whole lot of evidence. It was weird.
Yeah.
I would have thought that for as active as they claimed the haunting to be, that it would have been
Yeah.
more active.
So the next one was a really fun one. That was our road trip to Kentucky.
I want to go back there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so bad.
Me too.
I so badly want to go back there and do the Rose Opera House, but I also want to do like
I want
the
to do
old
the jail.
Yes, the whole town there is so cute.
I would like to
quaint.
do
It's great.
all of that, but I'd also like to go on Witch's Day Out.
Yeah,
That would be fun, but it's hard because we're already committed to end of September and beginning of October.
Yeah.
But that would be fun.
I mean,
we'd
we can always plan for it. I really want to do it. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, well, we need to get income first. Then we can plan more road trips. But I do want to go back to the Opera House because that was incredibly fun.
And I think this time we should see if Brian's dad can go with us, maybe, because
we could
it's an
we-
extra body.
We could use a few more extra bodies
Oh,
because
yeah.
that is huge.
Huge.
And we didn't even
scratch the
No.
surface.
No. If you guys are a team that's from that area, which is Cynthiana, and you want to maybe
Or from
collaborate,
anywhere that wants to travel there. It's like
Right.
a 5-hour road trip for us, and it's really not bad.
no, and it was really reasonably priced, like
Yeah.
way more reasonably priced than a lot of the places that we looked
Yeah.
into going.
A lot of that, I mean, I can't speak for like the physical evidence that we got. 'Cause
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't really review a whole lot of that. But a lot of what in there with the headphones, and I got my eyes closed because, Estes method.
Yeah.
I didn't have a blindfold at that point in time, and I felt hands on my shoulders as somebody like passed behind me. And I was like, oh, that was really weird. And I was like, I tried to lean back because I thought maybe I touched the wall, and the wall was a lot further back than I thought it was. I
Yeah.
almost fell over.
And then I think it was shortly after that,
That-
when you guys were on the top of the stairs and you saw that shadow come. And as it crossed where we were, you could feel the electrical current come down, and
Yeah.
every single piece of equipment we had just went nuts.
And I was like, that was a shadow person.
Yeah,
and
it
just
was.
ran down this hallway. It was crazy.
And that's when me and you both felt like we got gut punched.
Yep.
Yeah. That was absolutely probably one of the weirdest feelings I've ever had, was being in
Yeah.
that back little weird hallway by the stairs while you guys were downstairs and watching the shadow person like run down and around the corner. I was like,
And we didn't know
I
what
was
was
like-
going on. We
and
just
then, like,
felt
the
the
curtain,
rush of
the
energy.
curtain moved, and like Kelsey looked at me and I looked at her and I jumped up and I like went down there and I was like, it just ran like in the wall. There's not a door there, so I'm like, I don't know.
There may have been at one point in time,
Yeah.
like the guy that gave us the tour said, because there used to be houses out back
Yeah.
where the stage crew lived.
Yeah.
Um,
Bye.
Shortly after that, when we were out on the stage, we were trying to figure out where that shadow person came from. I have the three ladies in front of me. I'm standing there, and I'm looking up at the projection booth at this point, and I hear a woman laugh off stage to the left, and I'm what
And-
the
That was when we
On the stage, and I happened to look up, and I'm looking, and I'm like,
We-
what is that? I'm like,
we
everyone's
could
just like, what are you looking at? I was like, there's somebody in
We-
there moving.
we could see And they have said that they have a shadow person that moves around in the projection booth. He used to be the projector guy.
Yeah.
They say that you can see him at night. Some nights you can watch him come down where there used to be a set of stairs and walk down the aisle and go out where there used to be a back door.
Yeah. That wouldn't really be a shadow person, though.
Like,
Well, it's like a residual energy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you could like
we could
literally
see it.
see the person there.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
We could see the shadow going back and forth in the projection booth, and I was like, I want to test something.
And he'd like stop and like peek through like the holes and like just stare at us for a few seconds, and then
here's a
move
little
again.
plug. If you go to our website, we have pictures up there
Yeah.
where you can see
Yeah.
in it.
It was so crazy though. Like I have never ever experienced something that cool. Though.
This was
so
also
awesome.
where our one investigator, Kelsey, got her nickname Nope from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody move so fast.
But we now have a Nope Junior.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
More on that later.
Yeah.
And I didn't leave anybody,
No.
So,
in the dark.
and
Wow.
that one was interesting too, because after we saw the person or the shadow moving up in the projector room, I was like, I want to go up there and I want to test something, but I need 2 people to go back down to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to open and close this door to see if maybe you guys can see it down there. Well, I hadn't even got that started yet.
No, we had just made it back upstairs, and I was standing, I think, right outside the door.
You were standing right in the doorway out to the
Yeah.
balcony where you could see them down
Yeah.
by the stage.
Well, there was a huge weird shuffly I don't even know what it was. It was like a really creepy sound that came from the back of the stage, and I was like, I don't know what I was like. Did you hear that? Like flashlighting, trying to figure out what's going on, and then I was like, hey Kelsey. By the time I turned around, she was gone. I was like,
All you
Well-
hear is, nope!
Well,
hey.
what made Kelsey run is on the video, if we ever get it uploaded. I don't know if we
I
have.
don't know if it's up there or not, but
I don't know if it ever got to us to be
I don't
shared
know.
because Kelsey didn't want this evidence being seen.
yeah. Sorry, Kels.
Can't say I blame her.
You
Not a
hear
fun
a sound and you see Megan look around on the stage through the cam,
I'm trying to figure out where it came from because someone
and
was
about
running up
that
behind me.
time
No.
you hear something. It almost sounds like a broomstick hit the floor.
And Kelsey said that to her, it sounded and felt like something was rushing at her.
That's why I spun around really quick with the flashlight. I was like, I don't know what is running at me, but
And
I don't like this.
all you see is Kelsey grab her stuff, nope, and take off.
Pigtails flopping.
And we also had we had your tablet set up
yeah.
in the stairwell that led up to the second floor.
Yeah.
And as she comes running up the stairs, you can actually hear a second set of
yeah.
footsteps running with her.
Every
It
single
was not
time.
me. I was still
No.
down at the stage trying to figure out what was going on.
Every time we went up or down the stairs, there was extra footsteps behind us. Every single time. And if you walked up the stairs, it literally felt like you were being chased up the
Yeah.
stairs.
It was so weird.
Going back down, it felt that way too.
Yeah. My favorite, besides the conversation with the boy, is when we first went and we sat on the stage and I had my cup of coffee and I sat it down on the floor and it was just me and Kelsey sitting there. And right as I sat the coffee cup down, I got the coolest EVP and says, "Oh, coffee, good stuff."
Yes.
That was freaking awesome.
That was probably one of the coolest EVPs that we picked up so far. That was really neat. It was really interesting to have something there intelligently comment on the fact that you had coffee.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It made it definitely made the hype of the night other than Kelsey running.
Yeah. Well, this started off the night on a good
Yeah.
whatever.
The part of the opera house that creeped me out the most was the basement going into the fan room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're completely water-cooled fans. That is how they heat and cool the building.
And it's creepy.
It's
It's fed from a well 300 and some odd feet down. And the sump pump and where where it's fed from is right under the stairs going into that area.
And there's just a big hole.
Yeah.
And they're really creaky steps, and I felt like I was going to fall in there every
Yeah.
time I walked across it.
But what is water?
Conductor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was
And
a great conductor.
And that
Yeah, it
conductor is very deep in the earth.
Yeah, it is, which leads to more water.
Yeah. Well, then we were down in the basement, and I thought we seen that somebody walked by the outside windows.
Mhm.
But there's like in that very end of the hallway, where it used to be like it used to be
doesn't work.
like a dressing area. There were like windows that looked like
Yeah.
it like went outside, and I could have sworn when me and Brian were down there
Yeah,
that
'cause
like,
I saw-
something ran past. I was like,
And then
Yeah.
I saw like a red light in it.
yeah, and I'm like, we don't have any equipment down here, so I don't know why there's a red light down
So-
there.
so-
There's
and
a red
then-
light down there.
So we thought that one went outside, and I actually go in the room.
Very
and I got a-
creepy, by the way.
I got a weird vibe as soon as I walked in, but as you go and you look around, it was just a little like alcove area big enough for like a bed
It
with
was
this window that leads to the basement area, just looking in at it. I'm
Well,
like,
if we think about it long and
If the
hard,
rumors are true, it used to be
a brothel house.
Yeah.
at one
And
point,
so,
maybe.
again, it's,
I would not want to be working in that
most
basement.
of the time back in that era, that's what they did with the girls in the opera. And our session with, I forgot his name now, but he said it as well, that his girlfriend, who worked at the opera house, was then used in the brothel. But those windows make sense then.
Yeah.
If you think of what it could have potentially been used
The
for.
little weird alcove also makes sense at that point, but
Yeah.
like it was a very weird space. Like it was just weird.
For a
It was very-
basement, it was tiny.
It was.
They're
For as
like-
big as that place is, it was just this tiny little
And upstairs in the attic, like the attic-y, the old
observatory thing.
Yeah, that was just weird. Like the whole vibe and like the floor and like the fact that like if you lean too far over, like you literally fall through the floor and the
Yeah.
ceiling. That was a little unsettling. I'm like, note to self, don't get too close to that because I would be the one that would trip and fall.
Oh yeah, no.
We're not doing that.
No.
But we didn't really get too much up there. Like a lot of dust,
Yeah.
a lot of sneezes.
Yeah.
A lot of shuffling of our feet because it was dark and the floor was sketchy.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being a whole lot of evidence up there. We did get
We
some
did.
weird
We got one
orbs.
EVP, but I can't remember what it said now.
We got some weird orbs in
the cloak room. Cloak.
The
coat
coat room.
Cloak and coat.
Yeah, that was interesting. Looking out the window, like that's a drop.
Yeah, it is.
And that window was like floor to ceiling. It was weird, so weird. I've never
Well,
seen.
That's how they were though back then.
Yeah, that
Look
way,
at all the old Victorians and stuff.
that way you could, from the coat room, you could look out and see how many more people you've got coming in
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
versus
and then,
like space available.
the weird thing is that like the stage used to like come up and like sit in that floor space where like where the balcony thingy was, like the stage, they could pull it up.
No,
No.
No? I
Uh-uh.
thought they could.
no, that was the old viewing area for the
Oh.
stage out in the main
Oh,
room.
okay, yeah. For some reason I thought it was the other way
Yeah.
around.
No.
That area where they had that second stage at, where they had it covered with the tarps and that to look down in, that was a newer setup. a theater.
Yeah, for some reason I thought that was a stage that
And
moved.
they would do like stand-up comedy in there.
Okay. For some reason I thought the stage moved. I don't know why. I
That's
don't
because
remember
that's the way it looks like
why.
it
That's
should.
probably what it looked. I was like, why did I think? I have no idea
It
why I
did.
thought
It looked like if you just got rid of that little tarp
like
covering
the stage
thing,
would
it would
literally just
yeah.
like suck up in there. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of. The whole space is interesting. It's huge. It's weird. Like you could hear footsteps and like random things all over
Mhm.
the place.
But we that too we debunked as everybody else walking around.
Yeah, a lot of it is us
Echoes.
walking around. It's very echoey.
Well, there's not a whole lot in there,
No.
No.
and especially not with 5 people.
No.
But and like the owner that the people that own that are so freaking awesome.
They
So
are.
nice. They're like, oh, just drop the keys and just make sure the doors are locked and go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they
Okay.
they do it.
The
Everybody
tour
does
was
it to
great.
make money, but their main primary goal is just to be able to keep it running.
Yeah,
That's it.
it was awesome. But
Yeah, that was the greatest conversation I've ever had with somebody. So what time do we need out by? As long as you're out by next Sunday, it don't matter.
Right? Had we known this in advance, we would have made
stayed.
plans for that.
Right. As long as you're out by this day at this time, darn it. We would have made plans to go stay for a few extra days. Dang
Right?
it. But
Because you definitely need more time at that place.
oh yeah, definitely. If we go back,
the
I want to
museum.
go 2 days.
With-
the
with-
museum.
The museum there with the Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls.
Yes.
Oh,
The
I'm
wire-
going to pull mine out one of these days.
oh,
We're gonna set them down with Megan and take pictures.
Yes, we are.
No.
We're going to have a photo shoot.
The doll houses that were exact replicas of the houses there.
yeah. The museum itself was really cool though. There was
And
a
those
lot
people
of
were awesome.
interesting things that happened. Like they had a lot of activity at the museum too though. They said that one like wax statue like moves on its own randomly, like
Yeah.
the curtain will open and close by itself. And I was
Over
like,
where
dang
the
it.
I
I
forget.
want to go and investigate the whole freaking time because it seems
Right.
like the whole town
It
has
is.
activity. It's so cool though.
Well, there was also a Civil War battle that happened there.
Yeah.
They actually have the whole town model display before
Yeah.
that battle.
Yeah, that was
Set up in the
so
museum.
cool to see like all of the little pieces and like where everything was before the battle and like have the guys that run this there like tell us exactly like, oh, you want to
Yeah.
see a cool weird little cemetery, you got to go down the block and give you exact directions.
Yeah.
You want the best food in the
Go
whole
here.
town, you have to go here. Oh, don't forget to stop at this shop and see the lady with all the gemstones and stuff. She's really cool.
Yeah.
It was-
Everybody there is amazing.
It was so cool though that the whole town was so welcoming to like random strangers, and we were
Yeah.
taking pictures and videoing, and they were like, "Okay, like this is completely normal. You're
Yeah.
not crazy."
Well, it's a tourist town as well. I mean, it's where The Walking Dead started.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. It was interesting though, and the cool thing, like when we were at the opera house, was that the guy that owns it was like, "So, do you want all of the details or none of the details or just some things? Like
Yes.
you want just the bare bones, like this is the history of the place and
So
I
you
won't
know-
tell you any
yeah.
activity that happens."
Or do you want to know like the hot spots?
The
or...
mirror at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, yeah. I kept waiting for somebody to be there.
When I first saw it, I didn't realize it was a mirror, and I thought it was a whole opening to another area.
Yeah, I did too. When we first walked in, I was like, oh, nope, never mind.
Never mind, it's a mirror. I could not look at that mirror going down the steps. and say
No.
goodbye.
There was
Yeah.
going to be something in it. No.
Realize there's a mirror there. I'm looking at the floor as I go down the steps.
I don't want to watch something
All
run
right,
up
we gotta
behind me.
move on to the next one, or we're gonna be here for 4 hours.
We could be here for 4 hours with the Opera
Yeah.
the Opera House. It was so awesome. If you definitely have to pick one place to check out, you definitely have to go there.
Especially one that is reasonable.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna have a good time and get good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple for that. Like one of them further down our list.
Yeah.
Provided it's ran by people that know what they're doing.
Right. I would love to go back there, but not by the same people that did it.
So we've also done a few house cases that we've
Yeah.
had some
And Perry and Madison.
interesting things happen, like our downtown Perry house that we were at.
We had the homeowner who got, I wouldn't call it possessed, and I don't know if I would actually call it jumped, but he was definitely overtaken for a little while.
Yeah, like his voice completely, like his inflections, his voice, everything, and his personality completely changed. It was so weird.
And he lost 2 hours of the night. He, at one point, he thought he had been taking a nap and that he just woke up and we had just got there.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. We didn't really have like a whole lot of other activity that happened there though.
No, not a lot. We got a few EVPs, a couple pictures, but
Isn't that a house you've done with
Yes.
a different group?
Yes, I have been
Okay.
there 3 times in total. The last time that I did it with them, we did a full house blessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so to go over some of the things that I heard about while you were doing it with that group, the eyeballs over the fence, I never saw any.
Yeah.
Got no evidence of that.
No.
I debunked that by the lights from the various houses around over the backside.
And there's a bar over there too. So you've
Yeah,
got
like
headlights, you've got
So like American Legion or VFW or something. It's like
Yeah.
right next door.
Yeah.
A lot of the noise and voices that you heard on recording came from there. 'Cause
Right.
They were having some kind of like big party there, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this was not the greatest night to do this.
No, there's always something
But-
going on over there though.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't get a whole lot of energy feel from that house myself.
I didn't get much from it this time. When I had gone there before, there was definitely some things there.
Yeah.
At one point I had went into one of the upstairs rooms with
Those rooms were kind of weird,
I
but
forget who I was with, but it was the one with the bathroom.
yeah, that room was
As I
weird.
was sitting there against the wall, you could see black figures coming in the door and they just lined all the walls. Nothing else happened besides that, but that alone was a little
A
okay.
little weird.
There were EVPs and stuff caught, but I don't entirely believe them at that point in time. But there definitely was stuff going on.
Yeah, we just didn't happen to like really get anything. Like a REM pod went off here and there, but nothing major. Like nothing that you would expect
No.
there to be, especially with how active they said the house was.
Well, and they've never had anything bad happen. It's
Yeah.
just random
Random
things
stuff.
just to get attention. But there is one room there that we didn't make it in this time because of what had happened. We called it a night. And that room is a pretty active room.
Ah, okay, yeah.
But again, nobody's getting threatened, nobody's getting hurt. So it was more we were doing it for them because they had a curiosity of what it was, not
Yeah.
necessarily to figure anything out and do anything about it.
Yeah, it was the same with the next house. They were curious. That was
Yeah.
our farmhouse visit.
Perry Farm.
Now that one is a whole nother ball of wax.
That one was weird.
That
It
one
was
has definitely
interesting.
got some things.
Yeah.
I not saying y'all are wrong, but I personally didn't feel much.
The only thing I felt was upstairs in the attic.
I got a bit of a feeling from the little attic space there that I refuse to go into, but then again, I don't like basements or attics.
Yeah. No.
I got it from the big part of the attic that we were in. It always felt like there was somebody like right here looking, and then if I turned my back, I could feel them on me.
Yeah.
So I sat on the stairs at one point in time there at the top by the attic. But where you guys were at, I was sitting on the stairs going
Yeah.
down to the second level. And I caught a shadow out of the corner of my eye go down the hall, dart down the hallway, but that was about it. It didn't set off the REM pods we had.
Yeah.
No, the REM pods didn't start going off until all y'all went downstairs and I was still upstairs.
No,
with the
they went out.
things.
No, when
Did
we
they?
first set them up, they went off like crazy.
And we also found out that we can't use the walkie-talkies because they're on the same frequency.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the REM pods were going off before we even got the walkie-talkies out.
Yeah, that was a great lesson
Yeah.
for us and someplace that like we're friends with homeowners, so
Yeah.
like they're like, "Ha, you set them off yourself. Great job." Yeah, we didn't know that
Yeah.
that did
So
that.
now we don't use the walkie-talkies if we have the REM pods out. We all have phones. We can contact each other that way.
and
Gotta
the
watch-
watch don't set the REM pods off.
They
I
don't,
have
but they
one
will
room
set the EMF detectors off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just don't hold them.
close. But
Yeah.
it was definitely like, I don't know.
My watch doesn't set off the
It was
K2,
interesting. We
so
got
that's
a lot of
plus.
really weird EVPs there. Like we had the one that kept saying that there were headstones in the woods. Like
Yes.
I don't know where there might be headstones in the woods because I went through the backyard like a few days after that because I know the homeowner, so I'm like really good friends with her, so I go over there a lot.
Yeah.
We walked through the backyard, like through some of the woods. I didn't see anything, but that doesn't
They
necessarily
could
mean
be
anything.
in the ground even.
But at some point in time, the original family owned like almost the entire street on that side. So like, could quite literally be
A family,
anywhere.
there quite literally could be a family cemetery there.
And we did
Somewhere.
have that. I don't want to call it a shadow person because we don't really know if it was or not, but we had the shadowy figure peeking around the chicken coop at us.
That was weird.
We had a lot of randomness from the recorder that we left in the empty garage.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things being moved around. There was a glass bottle that we heard get knocked over or tipped over. A lot of footsteps.
Yeah. It was an interesting night, and I can't wait to go back because I want to see if we can catch more stuff. Cause...
I want to go back in dry season. That way I can go out in the woods.
Well, we can go back multiple times. We may have a chance to go back this month, which means we will not be venturing too far out into the swamp. I mean, you can. I'm not traipsing through the ankle-deep mud.
I'll bring my rain boots and go back there with you.
I don't have waders to
That
be doing
depends
that.
on who goes with us, because I ain't staying upstairs in that house by myself.
You may not have a choice.
Then I'll be home. Y'all have fun.
I was upstairs in the creepy attic by myself.
And that's fine, but not when y'all are a mile away in the woods.
And it was definitely like it was weird. There wasn't like a whole lot of stuff that like happened until like all of the REM pods went off, and I was like,
yeah,
maybe I don't think I want to be up here by myself anymore.
And then after we left, things got quiet for them for a little bit, and they have been significantly amping up over the last 6 months.
A lot of things mimicking the homeowners now, and that kind of
I don't like that.
Especially
when kids are involved.
Yeah, and it seems to target their kid a lot, like with the mimicking. Like,
well,
she'll hear somebody like yelling for her downstairs to get downstairs now, and like she'll go down there and like be home alone, and she's like, I don't like this.
No, and it's her room that they're like morphing into, walking through the wall. So I just want to I would love to figure out what's upstairs, because I know I can feel it like staring at me, and like you would, in your mind, you can see it like crawling across the wall. But I would love to figure out what that is, but my main goal is figuring out what's messing with her.
Yeah.
And then we had Augley's Village.
That one was huge.
That was a fustercluck.
It was.
And it could have been ran so much better. It was run by two different groups.
Neither one knew what the other one was doing.
They didn't communicate with each other.
Nor the people that were there.
Yeah, they didn't communicate with the people who paid money to be there.
That one, it can be rented out by groups. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of acreage to
cover.
There's a lot of buildings to cover. We got a lot of personal experiences there.
Oh, we had a really cool time in the
school?
No,
the caboose.
Train.
The train. Well, we also had the experiences in one of the buildings with a little girl and the little box.
That was the schoolhouse. We had a few in the church when Kelsey was doing the sermon.
That was hilarious.
We all thought we were going to start to sizzle.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the fugue and toccata to play on the organ.
But the caboose was definitely the highlight.
Yeah, it was so fun having Ryan's dad with us, and
that was the first one my dad went on with.
So hyped when he had his experiences there. It was so great to watch him, like,
and that's where she got her nickname.
Yeah, because the
poop dude.
Okay, so in my defense, the door right behind me literally felt like it was getting shoved open, and his dad jumped, and I was standing like shoulder to shoulder with his dad, and when his dad jumped, it scared me. I jumped. I blurbed my new nickname out, and then the door at the other end started like shaking back and forth.
Yeah.
And like rapidly just moving, and it was interesting. And then we seen the shadow thing.
Kept walking
Yeah.
by the outside at the bottom of the caboose.
Yeah.
Had
That's
one
wild.
looking in the door.
We had one when we went to the bathroom, and we had stuff come over the spirit box when we left,
Yeah.
which I totally forget what that was, but it had something to do with us leaving to go to the bathroom.
We had EVPs on that one that came through, and my dad and I, while we were listening to it, I was like, "That's not my dad, and that's not me."
Yep.
Yeah.
That was clearly a man's voice.
Yep. And then let's see, when we were coming back from the bathroom, we both saw the same image in our head of what Brian, before we had talked to Brian about what he saw, we saw the same image that was like right ahead of us, and we're like, nope,
We gotta pick up the pace a little bit quicker and get back to
Yeah.
other people, because you know, being alone outside in the dark with just the two of us and a flashlight was
because at this point everybody else that was there was passed out.
yeah.
That's when we found out that. That's when they found out Brian sleeps outside just as well as he sleeps indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then after the whole investigation was over, we all went back to sleep. You had something knock on the window. I had
Yes.
something try to unzip my tent. I was like,
And I was sleeping outdoors in a hammock with nothing around me, and nothing bothered me.
I was in the camper and it was knocking on the windows. I'm like, nope,
Well, and my tent was like right outside where Brian was sleeping. Like he was like literally like I could reach out the door and almost touch him.
Mm-hmm.
And it tried to open the zipper. My brain, first off, I was like, oh, maybe he got cold. And then
Good
I
thing
heard
you
him
didn't say, come
snoring.
on in.
No, and then I hear him snoring, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like maybe he needs somebody to like go up to the bathroom with him. I don't know.
While
My
he's
brain-
snoring.
I was half awake, and I was like, I don't know why he would be opening the tent door, but okay, cool. And then he started snoring again. I was like, that's not Brian. I'm just gonna curl back up in my blankie and pretend that I did not hear the tent door open. I could
Did
not
you
wait
hear
till
that?
the
No,
morning.
you didn't.
No. Mm-mm.
Heard nothing, saw nothing.
No. Mm-mm. It was
Good
weird.
times.
It was so weird.
And then we got the Ross house in Bel Air, Ohio.
Yeah, I don't remember much of that because I lost like a lot.
That one's in an old coal mining town.
Yeah.
Right along the Ohio River.
And like
You
the
look
river-
across the river, you see West Virginia.
Yep.
The river is almost like spitting distance from the front of the house. Like it's close. So
Just gotta go across the highway, you'll be right.
yeah. No. Mm.
That one, I don't remember the exact history of it. The current owner turned it into escape rooms at one point in time.
There was like a chinchilla
Massacre room.
massacre house there.
Yeah, the back
They, like,
bedroom,
Farmed them or something.
the back bedroom, they bred chinchillas, and then on the one wall they had all the cages for the chinchillas, and then the other wall was the slaughtering side.
Where they would skin them for their fur.
Yeah.
Poor things.
Then you had the creepy hallway.
The creepy hallway that led down to the chinchilla room.
Yeah. And
Then the
The mannequin room.
mannequin room.
that's the room I slept in. Never
The,
again.
the
Nope.
infinite loop room that I slept in.
Slept
Mirror.
like a freaking
Mirror.
baby.
And you could feel the energy swirling in between the two mirrors.
And his K2 meter just went off nonstop all night. It was still going off in the morning, like
Yeah.
the same pattern. I'm like,
And when we had done a check previously, before we even sat it there was nothing over there that would make it go off. We propped it up in a rocker, and
away.
There was a lot of footsteps in that building.
a lot of shadows.
A lot of shadows. My dad saw an orb come straight at him and fly off into the mannequin room.
And then all of his stuff on his camera like
Deleted.
deleted. It
itself.
was so weird.
And then was it you or Kelsey saw we were going up the stairs
Oh, I seen something like run down the hall, like
down the hallway right at the same time that I got poked as I was walking up the stairs.
Right. Well, Kelsey
I
was still downstairs, and I thought it was Kelsey, but she came out of a completely
She
different
was in
area.
the front living room.
And I was like, okay.
I was at the top of the stairs.
I think I was right behind
April
you.
was right behind me. My dad was right behind her.
He was about 3 steps down. Because I turned around and I thought it was your dad that poked me with his camera as he was walking up the stairs, and I turned around because I was going to make some smart bleep comment at him. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't you. I'm just going to keep walking up the stairs.
I think I was the first one up the stairs.
And then
it was Brian, and then you, and then his dad.
And
Like-
Kelsey was
I will
coming
not
from...
go last upstairs
And
because I'm a
Chelsea was still recovering from a concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the infinite loop room. I felt like something was laying behind me on a twin-sized bed, which is amazing in its own right. But I don't remember my blanket ever coming down and resting along my back. It felt like there was something there, and it was cold, and that just helped me sleep all night.
And that's the bed that we had the cat balls on, and they kept going off.
Yeah. Well, and then I slept in the creepy mannequin room, and let me tell you, when you go in there in the dark and you see a thing in the corner, I almost had a heart attack because it was late, and then I had to quickly flash my flashlight on there. I was like, oh, it's just a creepy mannequin. So I crawled into bed, and then about 20 minutes later, it felt like something tried to crawl in bed with me, and I was pretty much up all night.
Yeah.
That room in itself was creepy for my dad and I because it was the same bedroom set my great aunt had when she passed away.
That's weird.
It was a very creepy feeling in that room at night.
Well, I slept in the downstairs front living room. Well, I shouldn't say I slept. I tried to sleep in the chair that looked like it would be comfortable. And Kelsey was on the little couch, and I, about halfway, 3/4 through the night, I just was in a fit of rage, and I almost left everybody there.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure why, other than I was jumped by something, and I could not sleep in this chair. I kept, like, sliding off onto the ottoman. Right. Well, we find this out why later. Onto the ottoman, and I scooch myself back up and find myself back on the ottoman, and I did this all night long, getting maybe an hour of sleep. Come to find out later, there is a spirit that has claimed that chair as his, and he kept just saying, out of my chair.
Yeah.
This is mine.
Yeah. Well, and then, like, you had the weird personality change, but then I had it first.
And nobody noticed it but me. I had to point it out to you. I'm like, something's not right.
weird.
Well, I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't really.
I wasn't with her most of the night, so I
Yeah.
didn't notice it. I was off doing my own thing.
But I felt fine. At first, I felt fine. And he was like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing. I feel fine. I feel completely normal. And then after that, I remember nothing until, like, later on in the evening. And we had pizza. And I remember eating pizza. And then, like,
It was right.
I'm done.
It was right. No, well, you remembered putting the candle on his birthday brownie.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
it
did
was
that.
right after we did that you lost everything. And when we went upstairs and went into the mannequin room, well, we went into the front room first. And then
I'm like, clearly, looking back on the recordings, I talked to you people.
you did, but you didn't.
I
You didn't
interacted. I videoed it, so I don't know.
But you didn't sound like you.
Yeah,
On
it
the
was weird.
recordings, you're very slow and very slurred, and it was
That-
not
I
right.
did not have any alcohol either.
No.
It was weird. Yeah.
Time there was very weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got there and we were outside talking, and it was like, well, we should probably get started. It's been an hour. Well, we went down, got the pizza, sat around, talked a little bit longer.
Felt like 30 minutes.
Felt like 30 to 45 minutes. Look, and it's been like 4 hours.
And
Yeah.
we're like, what? How did we lose 3 hours of this evening? We don't know. So next time, if we go back, we're gonna have to set timers. So
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
to like ding every like 2 hours so that we know that like it's been 2 hours and we can kind of better keep track of the time.
Yeah.
Because it was weird.
It was really
So
weird.
weird. The
And then-
time was weird. The feelings in the whole place were weird.
I want to go in the basement because you guys went, but
Yeah,
I never made
it
it
was
back
weird.
down there. But there were chairs and everything set up. It looked like they had been having seances in the basement. And the recorder that we left in the basement, you hear footsteps all night long shuffling on the dirt.
Yeah, and it's not like the whole place was dirt. Like if it was shuffling above the floor, it would have been carpet. So you would have heard like it sounds different than like dirt
Yeah.
floor. And
Yeah.
it was just
And you would have heard the creaking floorboards, which you hear a few times knowing that it was us upstairs. It was the gravelly dirt that you heard.
Yeah.
So while we were down in the basement and everybody else is upstairs in bed and that, while you're sitting in the chair, Kelsey's on the couch, my dad's in bed. We're sitting there and I'm going, you can hear somebody walking.
yeah. I'm like, weird.
Like,
I'm like, is it
everybody's
April?
in bed.
Well, I was like, to myself, I was like, I wonder if April is up and looking for us. But then we texted you, and you're like, I'm in bed. Oh, okay, it's not April. She's already asleep, and clearly not in the mood to be messed with. And it was just very weird hearing something like pace around, like it sounded very angry, like walking around.
To
floor.
her, it
Just weird.
sounds angry. To me, it just sounded like somebody was pacing around the house. Because that whole area was one big circle. You
Yeah.
could get to every room, and that's what it sounded like. It sounded like somebody was just walking through all the rooms.
But you could like distinctly hear like the footsteps, like they were walking heavy. It was just weird.
Huh.
I don't know. It was very interesting.
And we were at Conneaut Lake Hotel.
Oh yeah,
That was fun.
I can't wait to go back.
They,
Paracon there.
yes,
Guess we're gonna be-
every April and end of September.
We will be back in April.
Mhm.
Can't
Sounds
wait.
like every 6 months we'll be there.
Yep,
Yeah.
until they kick us out.
Well, I was
Which
really,
we thought was going to happen this
Right.
past time.
and
Surprisingly,
You know,
they
she
actually
was
asked
like,
us to come back.
absolutely not. You're coming back in April, right? And I'm like, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I honestly didn't think that y'all were gonna let us come back. She's like, oh no, you were like the most talked about group. It was great.
We were though. It was cool because it was our first time there, and people would find us and they're like, "We've been looking for your table," and we're like,
Yeah, it's because they put us in the basement in the corner.
How do you know who we are?"
From the flyer.
Yeah, they're
They-
like, "You guys are the coolest. We're so glad we finally found you." I'm like,
Okay.
okay, hi."
It was definitely interesting to have like fans come up to us and be like, oh my god, we've been looking for you all day. We're so excited. We want to investigate with you. And like our tickets were sold so quick because everybody wanted to be with us. It was
Yes.
so awesome.
It was, and
It was
then
a lot of fun.
we ended up not being able to do as many tickets as we had originally planned and wanted, but it was still fun. And when it was time to go investigate, our group went from this little chunk of people and they started going up the stairs, and I was, tailing along the end, and I look and it's wrapped all the way down the staircase and around, and I'm like, guys, where's our group? Like, this is it. I'm like, huh?
We got more than 15 people.
Okay.
We ended up with like
Everybody from the other group
45
just kind
people.
of joined on to us, and then as we
Well,
kept picking up more stragglers as we
Because
walked.
as it was, we were told we had to send them to the other groups.
Yes.
Because the other groups hadn't sold that many tickets.
Yeah.
So the ones that signed up for those groups, as soon as we split off into where we had to go, those people merged out of their groups into ours.
Yeah.
But it was cool though.
It was fun. We had a really good group.
It was really big though.
It was really big.
Really big.
I mean, we had a lot of fun. We talked with a lot of people. We explained how we were doing things.
Mhm.
We even demonstrated with a certain
Yeah.
portions of it.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch everyone like so into how we bring
All of our uniqueness.
like all of our witchy, occulty, whatever you want to call it, gear into an investigation. And it was neat to have a lot of people like ask questions like, oh, how do you do this? Oh, I've never seen another group do that for this.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Kelsey with the tarot cards down on the waterfront.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone was like, "Ooh, what is she doing?" And crowding
Everybody else
around.
was like, what does he do? He's here for protection.
Yeah,
He carries the things and
looks
guards us.
pretty. He carries the things.
I
looks
have
pretty.
gargoyle energy, as my one friend puts it.
Yes, and it you know it kept all of our team safe. It didn't really keep everybody safe.
Yeah, anyways.
Well, I'm not used to everybody else's energy either.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was fun.
It was
Whenever we would get a voice over the spirit box, or we'd play back the recorder, and somebody'd be like, "Oh, I heard it. Did you hear it?"
Yeah, it was fun to hear the excitement that everybody brought, and they were so excited to be able to like investigate with us, which was
To be voluntold we are coming back next year in
Right.
April.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
that was cool though. Like that just, and we were the entire talk
Yeah.
of the next
Yeah,
day.
yeah, we got there the next day and they're like, "Oh, we're surprised you're here."
We're like,
Why?
why?
Why? What happened? What did we do? Oh,
Apparently
they had
there
a
was-
whole morning meeting about you. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't do it.
Well,
Well, apparently the psychics that were there confirmed what we did. So
Yeah.
yeah.
without any of them being with us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
It was an experience.
we have new rules now because of that experience.
No, we have old rules that just been reinforced.
Yeah. We have old rules that are now being more forcefully enforced.
Yes, because we are not doing that again. No.
You don't want to be the talk of the meeting again?
Yes, but let's do it another way. I'm sure we are capable of doing it again, just in a different way.
Conneaut Lake Hotel is going to be an ongoing talk that we have.
Yes. It was so fun though. I loved it. This time we're gonna attempt to stay in the hotel.
Yeah, not at the Killer Clown Motel.
No.
The
that
hotel
we stayed
where
at-
the door doesn't lock.
Yeah.
That was
That
Yeah.
was creepier and shit.
yeah.
It literally looks like it looks like a hotel out of a horror movie.
It is
That
the
thing has not
start-
been updated since the 70s. I can tell you that much right
No.
now.
It is the start of every hotel horror movie ever. Yes.
The people that own it are super nice. The people that live there are super nice, but it looks
like-
like a horror movie.
It's like Children of the Corn.
Yeah, you literally have to drive through what looks like Children of the Corn to get there.
Yeah, so yeah, no. I would rather not. No.
Yeah, no.
The next place that happened was Moonville Tunnels, and that was a solo trip between me and my dad, so the girls didn't go.
Nope. So this is all you.
So, not that they would have gone anyway. It's in the middle of the boonies. There's no
Nope.
place to sleep. There's no outdoor bathrooms.
Nope. And it's
When?
one way road.
It is
Up
a
a hill, no.
it's not a lane and a half. It's not 2 lanes. It is a 1-lane road around a mountain, and it's gravel. And I dare you to go 45 miles an hour.
Nope.
I would have went. I like camping. I'm a scout.
Oh, there was no
You know.
camping there. It was all sleeping in the van.
Go ahead. You
My dad-
can let Sasquatch get you. I'll be here.
So it's in the middle of the Appalachia. It was the Moonville Tunnels. Moonville used to be an old coal mining town before it shut down. When everybody stopped using a lot of coal, it's in Appalachia.
It's in Appalachia.
Where is it?
It's in Appalachia,
Okay.
Benson County.
Like
Just being a smart aleck.
in Appalachia, so
Appalachia.
you have the if you seen it, no
Yep.
you didn't. If you heard it, no you didn't. If you think it calls your name, no, it didn't.
I don't have to worry about it because I ain't gonna be there.
But we heard, we both confirmed that we heard something hit the water, even though no, we didn't.
Yep. Did you hear that? Yeah. Okay. Good. No, I didn't either.
No.
We went looking to see if we could see anything, because I saw this movie. This is how we died.
Yeah. Pretty much.
There's 4 ghosts that are seen there. I can't remember all of them. One was basically the town bully. He stands up He's known to be seen above the tunnels, and he will throw rocks at you.
Oh, cool.
So after researching that,
So you get a concussion and then Sasquatch get you. Nice.
it ain't Sasquatch. That'd be the flesh pedestrians.
Whatever. I don't want any of them to snatch me and take me away, but whatever.
I don't want to get eaten.
I do want to see Dogman, though, because I'm going to go, oh, can I pet it?
I don't want to get eaten by anything. I'm good.
that could potentially be seen there, too. It is Appalachia.
That is how I would die.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a doggy. Yes.
Yeah, that's my last words. I'm gonna die trying to pet something I know
Yeah.
is good in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I'm gonna die petting something I know I should.
But it's purring. I want to pet it.
Yep.
This is how we die. We're gonna see eyes in the woods and be like, "Ooh, it's a cute fuzzy something."
And then you're going to hear that weird feral scream, and it's not a cat, it's a flesh walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. My last words are still gonna be like, "This is how we
Moonville
die."
Tunnels it's public access. You don't have to schedule it. It's free. It's open 24/7, open to the public.
It's free, but at what price?
No cell phone service.
That's sketchy enough.
In the middle of nowhere
Quite literally.
while
in the
hunting
middle of
season is
nowhere.
going on.
No. No. I'm good. Have fun.
All right, I think we need to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think this has been a long one.
Yep.
Because I've drank way too much right now.
He's dancing. He's gotta go.
He's doing the party dance.
So
It's getting bad. This table might get flipped.
Ooh, table tipping.
There's
that's
going to be
something
some table
I
tipping.
want to try so bad.
All right, savages. I think we are done with this for the night.
For now, yeah, we'll
For
have to do another one about our coming year because we've already gone like
An hour and a half, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, savages, stay tuned for more to come later.